Today we're exploring sophisticated ways to express happiness in English. As upper intermediate learners, you already know basic terms like happy and glad, but to sound more natural and expressive, you need a richer vocabulary. By the end of this lesson, you'll have several advanced ways to express positive emotions in your everyday conversations. Let's start with euphoric. Euphoric, euphoric. Euphoric describes an intense feeling of happiness and well-being. When you're euphoric, you experience an overwhelming sense of joy that's almost impossible to contain. Athletes often feel euphoric after winning a major competition. New parents might experience euphoria when holding their baby for the first time. If you've ever received incredible news that made you feel almost dizzy with happiness, that's euphoria. The euphoric feeling that comes from major life achievements can stay with you for days. Next is ecstatic. Ecstatic, ecstatic. When you're ecstatic, you're feeling overwhelming happiness and excitement. Ecstatic is even stronger than delighted or thrilled. You might be ecstatic about getting accepted to your dream university. Fans become ecstatic when their team scores a winning goal. The word ecstatic often describes a reaction that includes physical expressions of joy. Someone who's ecstatic might jump up and down, shout, or be unable to stand still. The ecstatic cheers of the crowd filled the stadium after the last-minute victory. Our next word is exhilarated. Exhilarated, exhilarated. When you're exhilarated, you feel extremely happy, animated, and full of energy. Exhilaration combines excitement with a sense of being refreshed or energized. You might feel exhilarated after a thrilling roller coaster ride, or after accomplishing something challenging. Mountain climbers often describe feeling exhilarated when they reach the summit. The exhilarating rush of completing a marathon keeps many runners coming back year after year. That exhilarated feeling gives you a wonderful sense of being truly alive. Let's look at jubilant. Jubilant. When you're jubilant, you're showing great happiness, especially because of a success. Jubilant describes a celebratory kind of happiness that's often shared with others. The jubilant crowd celebrated in the streets after their country won the World Cup. Students were jubilant upon receiving their graduation diplomas. Jubilant expressions and cheers filled the room when the engagement was announced. The jubilant atmosphere of the festival was contagious, with everyone dancing and singing. Our final core word is elated. Elated. Elation is a feeling of extreme happiness and excitement. When you're elated, you're experiencing one of the highest forms of joy. Someone might feel elated after receiving a long-awaited promotion. A researcher might be elated when a breakthrough experiment succeeds. The elated expressions on the winners' faces showed just how much the award meant to them. Her elation was evident in the way she couldn't stop smiling for days afterward. First, in seventh heaven. In seventh heaven, this expression refers to a state of extreme happiness or bliss. The phrase comes from ancient beliefs about there being 7 heavens, with the 7th being the highest and most blissful. When someone is in 7th heaven, they're experiencing the ultimate happiness. She was in 7th heaven after getting backstage passes to meet her favorite band. My grandmother is in 7th heaven when all her grandchildren visit at once. Being in 7th heaven means you couldn't possibly be any happier in that moment. Next is walking on sunshine. Walking on sunshine. When someone is walking on sunshine, they're extremely happy and everything seems perfect in their life. This expression conveys a sense of happiness that affects how you move through the world. After receiving the scholarship, she was walking on sunshine for weeks. He's been walking on sunshine ever since his book became a bestseller. This expression suggests that happiness makes you feel lighter, as if the sunshine itself is supporting your steps. Let's look at on top of the world. On top of the world. When you're on top of the world, you feel extremely happy and successful, like you're at the highest point possible. This expression often follows a major accomplishment or good fortune. After closing the biggest deal of her career, she felt on top of the world. The championship team was on top of the world as they lifted the trophy. Being on top of the world gives you a sense that you can see everything clearly and positively. When you're on top of the world, problems seem small and distant. First, to be over the moon, to be over the moon. This British idiom means to be extremely happy about something. When you're over the moon, your happiness is so great it feels like you've gone beyond the earth itself. She was over the moon when she found out she'd been accepted to Oxford. The parents were over the moon about the birth of their twins. I was over the moon when I got tickets to the sold-out concert. Being over the moon about something shows that your happiness exceeds normal everyday contentment. Next, to be on cloud nine. To be on cloud nine. When you're on cloud nine, you're extremely happy and excited. This idiom suggests you're floating high above regular concerns. The newly engaged couple has been on cloud nine since the proposal. After winning first prize, the young pianist was on cloud nine. She's been on cloud nine ever since she got the promotion she wanted. When you're on cloud nine, it feels like nothing can bring you down from that height of happiness. To be beside yourself with joy, to be beside yourself with joy. This expression describes being so overwhelmed with happiness that you almost feel separated from yourself. When you're beside yourself with joy, your emotions are so powerful they seem to make you lose your normal composure. The mother was beside herself with joy when her son returned safely from his military service. He was beside himself with joy after passing the bar exam on his first attempt. When the missing dog was found, the children were beside themselves with joy. This expression captures how intense happiness can make us feel almost outside our normal selves. Our final expression is to be buzzing with excitement. To be buzzing with excitement. To be buzzing with excitement. When you're buzzing with excitement, you're filled with so much happiness and anticipation that you feel energetic and can hardly contain yourself. The crowd was buzzing with excitement before the concert began. The office was buzzing with excitement after the announcement of year-end bonuses. Students were buzzing with excitement on the last day before summer vacation. When you're buzzing with excitement, you might talk fast and move more or find it difficult to concentrate on other things. Think about situations in your life where you've experienced intense happiness. Perhaps you were elated about academic success or beside yourself with joy when reuniting with someone special. Maybe you were on cloud nine after receiving good news, or jubilant when celebrating an important milestone. In your next English conversation, challenge yourself to use at least one of these advanced expressions instead of simply saying you were happy or glad. Today we've expanded your vocabulary for expressing happiness with advanced terms including euphoric, ecstatic, exhilarated, jubilant and elated. We've also explored expressions like being in seventh heaven, walking on sunshine on top of the world, over the moon on cloud nine, beside yourself with joy and buzzing with excitement. Each of these gives you a more precise and sophisticated way to express positive emotions. In our next lesson, we'll explore vocabulary for describing different aspects of anger. Until then, practice using these expressions to describe moments of happiness in your life. Thanks for watching.